Hello, hello. So today we are going to do another MLB draft here. We're waiting on two people. So if anybody sees this, just to give you a heads up, this is like more for me to like kind of look back on and see my thought process and where I went wrong or where I can improve and blah blah blah. But I figured I'd live stream this just in case anybody wants to use it as something to look back on and compare to, or maybe you might learn some, or maybe you can teach me something. Feel free to leave any comments or any tips or strategy that you can improve on. I appreciate any help. If you want to leave any tips or strategy, and I hope that possibly somebody can find some helpful information out of this, and hopefully I can help myself with this too, become a better player. I'm by no means an expert at this or anything. Um, I just like playing fantasy for fun, and yeah. So we shall see. Maybe something good comes of this, or maybe I'm just wasting my time. But either way, I'm gonna do this. This is draft number 16 for me. I plan on doing 50 drafts, so that'll leave me with 34 more. I'm gonna try and stream them all. For like I said, so something I can look back at and see my thought process, and maybe I can help someone out, or somebody can help me out. We will see. But main thing is have fun. Have fun with this. It's fantasy. If you're not getting an elite player, most of these guys they are interchangeable. Um, that's the best I can say, or at least my thought process on it. If you watch my other video, you'll see that I like stacking. I don't like stacking in general. I don't care for it. But if it happens, it happens. But I like to draft power hitters because obviously they're going to score you more points. But anyways, we have pick number 6. This should be exciting. Let's do some work here. Let's draft a good lineup, and maybe we can get into the finals. Let's see, we got. So I have a red badge. I don't know. I don't recognize many of these names at all. Swolberger, I recognize that from a stream, but that's about it. So I have a red badge. Like I said, and by no means am I an expert or a great player. I guess I spent a lot of money on this. So it should be interesting to see if these are actually like sharp players, or if they're like me, they just spent a lot of money, so they have that red badge and probably just wasted it. But we shall see. So pick 6. Let's see. I am going to be looking at Schwarber for obvious reasons. Corbin Carroll is nice, but he's not going to follow me. Bobby Witt, I love Bobby Witt. He's probably my favorite player in the league currently. So this does make it tough, but I know outfielders are hard to get, so I am going to go with, well, good outfielders are hard to come by unless you load up on them early. So I'm thinking I'm probably just going to grab Schwarber. Schwarber is a heck of a hitter too, so we shall see here. Why is it like this? Okay, there we go. Okay, I don't know why it did that. So I'm a huge fan of Bobby Witt Jr., but I think I'm gonna go with Schwarber just because everyday outfielders are hard to come by. I shouldn't say that actually, because there are quite a bit of everyday outfielders, but elite's everyday outfielders are hard to come by. So we're gonna grab our elite outfielder and work from there. So when it gets back to me, I will be looking around here. Gunnar Henderson and Nick Kurtz, I like. Lindor, I like. Well, all these guys I like. You can't really go wrong with them. Churio, though, I'm not a huge fan of, unless he can take that next step, but shoot, I don't know. He is talented. Maybe he does take that next step. If Jordan falls to me, I love Jordan. I've been scooping him up. All he has to do is stay healthy. He's going to be hitting DH. I think he can stay healthy. That's a good start right there. Schwarber and Alvarez. Those are two guys that they stay healthy. I feel like their floor is like 1,500 on the season. And they are definitely good for spike weeks. Sorry, I keep saying right now. Yeah, I'm not an expert at public speaking, so I use filler words a lot. But we have Schwarber and Alvarez. I feel like that's a pretty dang good start. There's that again. So we'll have pick 30. Pick 30, we gotta see what falls. I'm a Cubs fan, so that part of me wants me to take Pete Crow if he falls, which I don't think he will. If not, I would say Langford would have been a solid pick. Arozia, he's a Rosarina. I hope I said that right. Rosarina. He's a good pick as well. He has that power and stolen base upside. But Pete Crow, Armstrong, if he falls to me, I am very tempted to take him, and then that'll give me 3 solid outfielders. That should be everyday players. I love that 30-30 upside and that Cubs lineup. I feel like adding Bregman gives them another guy that gets on base. And that's what they really need, is players that can get on base in front of their good hitters. So this is a very, very good start for me, or at least in my opinion. Schwarber, Alvarez, Pete Crow, Armstrong, these guys should have solid spike weeks. We just need them to spike at the right time. That's all. And if I had a crystal ball, I'd be able to tell you if that happens. But I don't. So we are stuck with my thoughts. My thoughts are meh. But hopefully we can get to the finals this year, because it would be nice just to make it there. I know that some people, it's just like, whatever, they're not winning money, like big money, but I honestly, I just want to make it to the finals, and that would be like a huge thrill for me. I made it 2 years ago to the finals, and that was pretty cool. So it'd be nice to get back into it. So pick 43 here. Harper is probably going to go. Maybe not. Yelich is probably the guy I was going to be looking at, and he just went. So I am going to. I like Buxton, but I feel like I might be able to push him off, and if not, then I can go ahead and get O'Neal Cruz, who I feel like is in the same boat. It's just O'Neal Cruz hasn't hit that upside yet that he has. So here, I like Machado. I like Harper a lot if he can stay healthy. Ketel Marte is good. So I think I'm going to go Machado here just because he does have very good upside, very good spike weeks potential. He does steal a couple of bases. He, could get shoot around 15, but he's going to be around that 10 mark with the power upside. And I think that San Diego offense can improve. If it does improve, he could be a hit. So that gives us somebody in the infield now. Excuse me. As far as outfield goes, I think we're pretty set there. I'm going to go with 6 people there. So I think I'm going to do a 7-7-6 build here. And as far as infielders go, I think I can hold off unless I want to go for Neto, but I think I'm going to go with Cruz and hope that he can take that next step, because he give you the stolen base, the home runs. Hopefully that Pittsburgh lineup can improve, so he has more RBI opportunities, score some more runs. He needs to cut back on his strikeouts. If he can do that, then that's pretty much a steal, I feel like. And there goes O'Neal Cruz. Never mind. I think I'm going to go for pitcher here. I'm not a big fan of Toscar Hernandez. I feel like he's on the down swing. Profar ain't bad either. Butler ain't bad if he can take that next step. There goes Butler. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with a pitcher here. And we're going to go with Chris Sanchez. Possibly, yeah. Let's go with Christopher Sanchez. I'm going to grab Christopher Sanchez. I feel like Christopher Sanchez has shown a lot of potential. He could possibly be a top 3 pitcher this year. I'm not sure what he was last year, but The guy is super talented, strikes people out, which I like, and he does get the quality starts. Means he's going at least 5 innings, which I like. And we'll see. We shall see. But yeah, you can never go wrong. I feel like, at least in my opinion, I feel like you can never go wrong with a Philly pitcher. Those Philadelphia Phillies, they just know how to. That coaching staff just knows how to tap that hidden potential in these pitchers. Now, normally here, I would probably grab Ben Rice, but, I have a lot of him, so I think I'm going to grab Brian Wu. Because he is another stellar pitcher. Pitches in a great park. So we are going to load up on the outfield and I guess pitchers. Or at least I got two good pitchers here, so I think I'm going to hold off on pitching just because you can get good pitchers later in the draft as well. And as long as I have that opportunity, I feel like I should start grabbing a bunch of hitters. That way I have solid hitters, and then hopefully if I do make it to the finals or throughout the playoffs, I have some good pitchers. I can possibly get to 2 starts and carry my team along with the hitting. So this pick, Ben Rice, I feel like he is going to way outplay his ADP here. I feel like next year he's probably going to be one of those guys that go in the top 3 rounds, possibly top 4. I have a lot of Ben Rice and I am big on him. And if he doesn't fall to me, then I am going to take Sasquatch because I love that Royals lineup. And Ben Rice falls to me, so I am going to grab him. So looking ahead, next pick is 91. I don't know much about this Marcy guy, so if anybody watches this and they know a little bit about him, please share any info you can. I see he steals bases. He has he hit 5 home runs last year. I see him going high, but I don't know why he's going high. That just doesn't scream like huge spike, weak potential to me, so if anyone can tell me about Marcy, that would be awesome. I know I looked him up in his profile. It didn't really seem like he'd be a power hitter with speed. um, or have that power hitting tool, but if he does, that would be cool to know. So here I'm probably going to grab Cags. I like Cags. I think he's going to take that next step, and he's in a very good lineup. Luis Roberts, I don't know. The Mets improved their lineup a lot. I just don't know if he is that guy. I feel like that 30 home run was a fluke. And, the 12, 14, 14 home runs is more him. I don't think, unless, the Mets can untap some potential there, fix his swing or something, I just don't see him being that guy anymore. So I'm not a big fan of Luis Roberts. The Cags I can get behind because he has that power and he is in a great lineup with Kansas City Royals. I am big on Kansas City this year. I really like what they have done, the moves they have made. Now we're at that point of the draft where those outfielders dried up. I like Michael Busch, but I'm probably going to grab, if Michael Busch is there, I'll probably grab him. Let's see something really quick here. 115, 26. Grissom, I like. I feel like he's at least a 20 home run guy. That power is sustainable. So he would be a good fifth outfielder. There's a lot of good pitchers around this, so I can push him. I can grab Grisham, and then I can probably grab one of these pitchers out here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab Busch. Michael Busch. He's got that 35 plus home run pop potential in a great lineup with the Chicago Cubs. Like I said, earlier with the P. Crow Armstrong, I like that. I don't like the amount of money they gave Bregman. I think that was a huge overpay. But I like the pickup because Bregman is somebody that gets on base. He makes contact, so obviously that's more runs that can score. That'll give them runners on base, RBI opportunities, which we like, especially if they hit home runs. So there's still some really good pitchers here left in the pool. This is definitely an interesting draft, just in my opinion, because it seems like people are really paying up for infielders, which So we got Grisham here. I'm going to go ahead and grab Grisham. That's my 5th outfielder. Varshall's good if he can stay healthy. I do like Varshall. Anyway, so we got 5 outfielders. I think I'm going to hold off now on outfield and wait until later in the draft. And then I can start loading up on some of these pitchers that are falling. Or at least going near a ADP. Infielders, I mean, there's just so many good ones. So I'm going to start loading up on some of these pitchers. This is a very pitcher-heavy area and the ADP. So we will start loading up on some pitchers when it comes to me. At the spots, Savage, Schlitter, Gavin Williams. Robbie Ray is good if he can stay healthy. Pablo, I don't know what happened to this guy, man. Like, he's good. It's just, man, he had that one stellar year and then kind of fell off. Or not fell off, but went back to average. Alrighty, we are up. So saying this is like a very pitcher heavy area, so I probably will end up grabbing a pitcher. No. Let's go with Yusevich. I like Yusevich. I just want to see what that said really quick. No hard inning cap in 2026. That I like as well. So obviously Zach Wheeler is probably the better play, but nobody really knows when he's coming back yet, I believe. So that kind of throws a wrench in it for me. Pablo Lopez, he probably would have been a good play, but we're gonna go with Savage, the young guy out of Toronto. Schlitter, I like him. Gavin Williams, I like him. I think you can't really go wrong with any of these pitchers. Like, once you get away from those higher ADP ones, the elite ones, I feel like most of them are pretty much the same as far as bike week goes. I obviously wanted to try to get the guys that can strike people out. But yeah, I feel like a lot of these players, the pitchers at least, they kind of one of the same as far as stats go. As long as you can put up those 31 plus point starts, you're viable in my book. Okay, so we're at 335. We're to grab a pitcher. So Woodruff, I'm going to take a gamble on him that he is healthy and he will give me a solid 150 plus innings, or at least 150 innings. If he can do that, he is more than worth that draft spot. If he can can give me 150 innings, it would be huge. Okay, we are coming up again. Oh. Okay, Hunter Goodman with 31 home runs. Wow. I didn't really think anyone from Colorado was viable, but it looks like there is somebody that could be good. It's just like Colorado offense, you don't know what they're gonna be. Most likely they're gonna be bad. So at this point, it's not bad. Yeah. Okay. At this point, I do like. Let's go with Costa Montgomery. I feel like he has more power upside. I like Swanson, but we're gonna go Costa Montgomery. I'll be right back. Alrighty. So we're at 445. Yeah, I'm going 776 here. So the reason I'm thinking 776 because I want to have that extra dart here. My pitching for that 2-start week if this team can make it to the finals or even through the playoffs. Infield, I like this potential right here, those 4, but I feel like I need more. Well, obviously I need more infielders because I used high picks on the outfield, and I got young guys in here. And Ben Rice and Colson Montgomery, so I want to just have backup just in case, they fall flat on their face or something. I have a lot of Evaldi, who is a nice solid pitcher. Not a picture, he's a solid pitcher. My bad. So I'm going to go with Flaherty here. He has very good upside as far as spike weeks go. He doesn't really get a lot of quality starts, which is, that sucks. So maybe I should look elsewhere, but yeah, you know what, I don't care. I'm going to go with Evaldi. Because like I said, I'm only doing 50 of these drafts, so I'm not too worried about spreading out my exposure. I have in mind for my research a set of players that I like, and I think I'm going to just pick from those sets of players. Flaherty is one that I do like, but I like Evaldi a little bit better than Flaherty. So we're going to take Evaldi, and we are going to hope that, he stays healthy this year, can get us 170 plus innings. If he can do that, that is a great pick. my family, my wife, and my kids are so amazing. I can hear them right now. The kids' laughter is just like the most amazing thing ever. Um, my wife, she's so freaking amazing too. She's great with our kids. So here we're gonna go with Edward Cabrera. Hopefully he can stay healthy. Hopefully he can stay healthy and keep that control that he had from last year. I will be right back. Come back in. Come on. You can come back in. Yeah. Come back in. Hey, bud. Alrighty. And I am back. 5 picks away. Got 6 pitchers. 4 infielders, 5 outfielders. Paredes, if he's there, I'm taking him. He can stay healthy. He can definitely hit that 30 upside, and that Houston lineup is always, going above expectations. Wow. Somebody took Sal Stewart already. We got some people taking players early. Like, what? Is Bubik already going that high? I like Chris Bubik. He is a good pitcher. Definitely has high upside. If he can stay healthy and hit that 150 inning mark. Taking him that early, though, that is questionable, especially with these other pitchers over here. Like, I would take Gucci over him. I would consider Jack Leader over him. Shota, I'd take him over him. I feel like Shota's going to have a bounce back. Shane Smith, I'd take over him. Bieber, if he can stay healthy, I would take him over Bubik. I mean, I feel like there's just better players. I don't get that. Why Bubik went so high. Why he went so high, I don't get that at all. So here I got 5 infielders. Oh, I'm sitting at 655 right now. Matt McLean would probably have been the person I grabbed, but he went so. I am going to look at Augustine Ramirez. I know he's on Miami, which is not the greatest team, but that power, stolen base potential, like that screams high upside to me. If he could keep that up. So I am going to take that chance as my 6th infielder on this team. I am a lucky man. Not lucky at fantasy, but just, yeah. lucky in life, I guess. We got 6 pitchers, 6 infielders, 5 outfielders. Our 6 pitchers right now are Christopher Sanchez, Brian Wu, Trey Savage, Brandon Woodruff, Nathan Eovaldi, Edward Cabrera. That's a great room if everybody can stay healthy, especially if they're healthy for the playoffs. If I happen to make it with this team, that pitching is definitely great. Manny Machado, Ben Rice, Michael Bush, Colson Montgomery, Isaac Paredes, and Augustine Ramirez. For my infielders so far, I love that bunch, and I want to add one more. The reason I'm going to add one more to that is because infield is deep. So I might as well take another shot with an infielder and 7 outfielders, because that infielder could help me during the season and potentially in the playoffs. So I will go with a 7th infielder here. And a lot of my builds are 7-7-6s because I tend to take a lot of outfielders early. So I feel like if I'm taking a lot of those outfielders early, I should probably spend more capital elsewhere. So here, I think I'm gonna go with Musgrove. I'm gonna bounce back. I know I said like Shane Bieber. That's probably who I should have grabbed with Shane Bieber, but we're gonna go with Joe Musgrove and hope that he can bounce back, because I'm pretty sure he has no cap either. So if he can get back to that 181, with 21 quality starts, that's solid. That would help out a lot. If he can get back to that, that's, he's gonna way outperform his ADP. And I don't see him being, what was he, like 76? Yeah. I don't see him being pitcher 76 if he can stay healthy and put up that many innings. Especially if he gets like 150. I think, he'll definitely be higher than that. Alright, so we got our pitchers. So we can go ahead. We're going to go ahead and just put infield, outfield there. We got our pitchers. Outfield, I want to take a shot. I like taking a shot on Jordan Walker. I was watching someone else's stream and they mentioned Jordan Walker, how he was working to improve his hitting, and he does have that power speed upside, which screams spike week to me. So we will grab Jordan Walker and hope that he does. These improvements do work, and he does take that next step. It sounds like they're going to try and give him as much playing time to figure it out, so we're going to go ahead and grab him, because he could be a high upside player with good spike weeks. And then we are at 766, so we're going to look for one more infielder. Muncy goes. I like Aranda. He does have that power potential outside of him. See if we can find somebody. McMahon, he ain't bad. They said that they were working on him too. Well, the Yankees were trying to work on his hitting, trying to get him to see the zone better, cut back on his strikeouts. He definitely has the power. So if he can cut back on those strikeouts, like, he could be a good player that pops off this year. And I know I said earlier, I'm not a big fan of stacking. It's not something that I try to do, but that might be something I do here. Say grab a Miranda, just throw McMahon in there for the stack. Honestly, like, stacking, I mean, you're really putting your chips in there that those players are going to pop off together. That's what I feel like. Now, if anyone can, tell me why it's good and prove me wrong, I'm willing to listen and learn. But to me, stacking is not a main priority. So we're gonna go ahead and throw McMahon in there and hope that these improvements work. I feel like if they do, he would be a good steal at that price. So we end up with the 776. Like I said, a lot of builds mine are 776. I just like that build because I try to, like everyone else, hit the outfielders early. Anyways, we're going to go through the roster really quick, or the lineup really quick. For pitchers, I got Christopher Sanchez, Brian Wu, Trey Savage, Brandon Woodruff, Nathan Eovaldi, Edward Cabrera, Joe Musgrove. That is a solid group right there. Infield, got Manny Machado, Ben Rice, Michael Bush, Colson Montgomery, Isaac Paredes, Augustine Ramirez, and Ryan McMahon. That's another solid group. A lot of upside potential there. And we just need, 3 or 4 possibly to hit that and stay healthy. And then outfield, we got Kyle Schwarber, Jordan Alvarez, Pete Crow Armstrong, Jack Caglianois, Trent Grissom, and Jordan Walker. That is a very solid group too. We are banking on Jordan to stay healthy this year. Pete Crow Armstrong to not fade in the second half like he did last year. Hopefully he can put it together and put up another strong 30-30 season. Jack Caglianois to take that next step. And Grissom to give me at least 25 home runs, which I think he's more than capable of doing on Yankee Stadium. That is a very hitter-friendly park for left-handed hitters. Then Jordan Walker, hopefully he can take that next step. Hopefully these improvements work for him. If they do, great. If they don't, then I'm going to be relying on 5 outfielders, basically. Anyways, that is it for baseball. Let me actually... So last time I went through everybody's and kind of just gave it a look. I think I'm going to pass on it this time, just because I want to try and knock out a football draft as well. Let's look at Swolberger really quick though. So he has Gilbert, Peralta, Ryan. And the only reason I want to look at him is because I do recognize that name from a stream. So I want to give him a look and kind of see what his thought process was possibly, or just even see who he grabbed. Maybe there's people that I'm overlooking that I should be grabbing, but I'm not. So Swolberger, he went with Logan Gilbert, Freddie Peralta, Joe Ryan, Jacob Mizorowski, Chase Burns, Bubba Chandler, and Drew Rasmussen. I do like his pitching. That is a lot of solid pitchers. Logan Gilbert, I'm high on. I like him a lot. Peralta, I love going to the Mets. It's going to be a good field to play in. At least 81 games. Hopefully half his starts are there at home. And if they are, I feel like that's a very good pickup. And honestly, like after this, you just can't go wrong as long as they strike people out. Infield has Harper, Turner, Bichetti, Okamoto, Brandon Lowe, Alec Barrison, and Alec Baum. Harper, Turner are good. Bichetti, if he can pick up where he left off at last year, that's a good pickup. And these guys are okay. They're not really Okamoto. We'll see. Some players have a hard time adjusting coming over to the stateside. Brandon Lowe has some power, but we'll see. Not a big fan of that Pittsburgh lineup, which is why I like O'Neal Cruz, but I'm kind of hesitant taking him because of that lineup he's in, and you are kind of hoping he takes that next step and he cuts back on his strikeouts and can make some more good hard contact. His infielders, I feel like they're a little weak. Judge, Roman Anthony, Duran, Lyle, Carpenter, Stanton. I love Judge. Obviously, everyone loves Judge. He's a very, very good player. Roman Anthony, I love that pick. I'm very high on Roman Anthony, like probably a whole bunch of other people are. His advanced metrics are just great, especially for I think he got like 110 at bats or 120 at bats or somewhere around there, and he put up pretty dang good, stellar advanced metrics. Duran, he's a solid player, but I feel like that 1 year, or was it 2 years ago, that he did really good. That was kind of a fluke. Lyle, not big on. I think he's more just a contact hitter, if I remember correctly. He's probably more of a stat or category guy than he is a points guy. Carpenter is good if he can stay healthy, and same thing with Stanton. Good if he can stay healthy. So, that outfield group's not bad at all. Judge and Anthony definitely save it. But anyways, yeah. We'll see. Maybe, he's on to something. Seen something in the advanced metrics, or maybe, he just knows that these players are going to take next steps or be great players for this year, and maybe he ends up winning. Who knows? After all, they are just names and stats. Anything's possible. So, draft is over. I'm going to go back. Let's go to complete. Refresh this, see if I can get. There we go. So, yeah, I have 16 entries. So, I'm going to try and knock out another 34 entries. I'm going to look at my exposure really quick. So, pitching, Evaldi's my top exposure. Well, Glassnow and Evoldier are my top exposers. Then we have Yasevich, Woodruff, Bubba Chandler, Flaherty, Musgrove, Ashcraft, Bubiak, Gavin Williams, Shane Smith, Sonny Gray, Bradish, Nolan McLean, Cabrera, Roger. I don't know why I have two Boyd. I mean, if he can continue the success that he had in the first half, I think he went a little bit into the second half as well with it. If he can continue that success, I like it. But if he's like the last half or last part of the season, I feel like he's not really worth the pick. Lear, Jacob Lopez, Kikuchi, Sanchez, Soriano, Bass, Noah Cameron, Cantillo, Brown, Ryan, King, Freed, Strider, Imangaga, Valdez, Chad Patrick. I feel like he is going to be that guy that gets 150 plus innings and he can strike out, a player an inning. He has solid stuff. So I feel like he should be drafted higher. I need to get more Chad Patrick going. Anyways, let's look at my top infielders. Obviously, Ben Rice, big on him. I feel like, just like everyone else, I feel like, too. He's going to have a big year. Miguel Garcia, Paredes, Bush, Aranda, Ramirez. I have a little bit of Sel Stewart's. Pasquantino, and all them. Grissom, Stowers, Alvarez, Cags, Buxton, Cruz, Walker, Yelich, Roman Anthony. Those are guys that I'm pretty big on. I want to stay heavyweight on them. Walker probably cut back on. Let's see. So I have 5. Yeah, Walker I'll probably cut back on. Maybe grab like 2 or 3 more of him. With the rest of the drafts I have. Because I don't want to go too heavy on him just because we don't know what's going to happen as far as if those improvements are going to help him or not. Well, I mean, spring training will definitely help us understand a little bit more. But we shall see during the season. Anyways, that was the MLB draft. I am going to cut out on this, take a little break, and then I will be back to do a NFL draft big board and go from there. All right, if you watched this, thank you. Let me know what you think. Any tips, strategies, could be tips for, streaming, could be tips for what I should be doing differently, or if you have any sleepers or anything like that I should be looking into. I'm all ears, I'm open. Let me know. I'd like to learn more. As much as I can, I should say. Actually, I like to learn as much as I can, especially about fantasy, which is something that I like playing. I find fun, and hey, if it helps me get back into the finals, I am all ears. So let me know any tips, any strategies I should be looking into, anything I should be doing differently as far as streaming. Like I said, this is kind of more so for me just to look back on and look at my thought process and see where I can improve or where I went wrong. But yeah, if you have any tips, any strategy, or anything I should be doing for streaming, just let me know. Thank you. have a good one, and if you watch my NFL video, I will see you in a bit.